It's Monday. It's Raw. We're here, back on Raw Monday review. A lot of stuff happened. I'm Andrew. That's Doug. Pitter patter. Let's get at it. On today's show, Jey Uso's going to Smackdown on Friday to talk to OTC.
Have you seen the leaks?
Yeah, I have. Karrion Kross is just playing jokes, folks.
Miz will do what he wants.
Yep. Seth Rollins gets laid out by Bronson Reed. God knows he means he's probably winning on this crown jewel. Shouldn't do that.
But he made Bronson Reed a hood ornament momentarily.
He did. But today we're going to start off, and a bunch of other stuff happened, and we're going to talk about that too. But we're going to start off today first with Damian Priest laying out all the Judgment Day.
Except for Finn.
Except for Finn Boy.
Finn is the only one that listened to Dominic.
Yes.
Finn is literally the only one that listened to Dominic. Dominic said he wanted to prove that he could do this on his own and that everyone keeps doubting him.
Yep.
And for that reason, he wanted everyone to stay in the back, including Liv and Raquel. And he won with the most devastating move in pro wrestling, the surprise roll-up.
Yeah.
And after 4 of the 5 members of Judgment Day gets involved.
And then Priest decimated him with a steel chair.
Yeah, he was beating JD McDonough like he owed him money.
Yeah, JD McDonough. Just, what a huge cranium that guy has. I mean, I have a huge cranium too.
Bobblehead of a human being.
Yeah, I mean, I got a pretty big head too, but I'm also half Polish and Eastern European, so that makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't matter. He's Irish. What does it matter?
He has no excuse.
All right, fine. Anyways, so
huge cranium. That's how that
this is gonna set up. This is gonna set up for Gunther to kill Dom again.
Yeah.
Because remember, this happened like leading up to WrestleMania.
Yep.
And Dom just got absolutely murdered by Gunther. He's gonna get murdered by Gunther again eventually.
Yep.
I
mean, Dom's never. I mean, I don't know if Dom's ever going to be a future world champion at this point, but I have a feeling he's never going to be one, and he probably shouldn't be. But who knows? Who knows what happens there?
Anyways, I think it's about time that Damian Priest got the upper hand in this, even though it is 6-on-1 or 6-on-2.
It makes. I mean, to be honest with you, he's kind of had the upper hand most of the time anyway.
Well, yeah, because he's bigger than like 2 of them combined.
Yeah, and scarier.
A lot scarier. He's like 6'8".
Yeah, it's a big Puerto Rican.
Yes,
big man who can probably hurt you. He's funny though. Like he's a really nice guy.
But he reminds me of Razor Ramon.
Yeah, I mean, I think he fashions himself after Scott Hall. Like
No, but what Razor Ramon was and represented back in the early 90s is what Damian Priest is now.
Yeah, more of a
obviously there's we all know, it's been documented, Damian said it himself.
Yeah.
That he takes a lot of influence from Scott Hall. But that's the thing. Even when I got into wrestling and Scott Hall was under Scott Hall, okay, that dude looked like the coolest motherfucker walking the planet.
When he was Razor Ramon in WWE,
I've watched old stuff. Don't get me wrong. I've seen Razor Ramon.
When he was Razor Ramon, because I grew up I knew Scott Hall first as Razor Ramon. Right, that's how I knew Scott Hall first.
Sure.
And he was cool as hell. With the gold
chain. You mean you didn't watch him as the Diamond Stud in WCW? Managed by Dallas Page?
To be honest with you, at that point there, I was straight WWF. I didn't, the WCW that I watched was made on Saturday mornings for an hour because nothing else was on. And there wasn't much, I didn't really like a lot of it. I wasn't very familiar. WWE or WWE time, because they had superstars on, right, was like I watched all of it. So I watched, Razor Ramon, Ultimate Warrior, Jake Snake Roberts, right? Guys like that, right? That's who I grew up with. Like Hulk Hogan, obviously. Like that's who I grew up with. Right? So I didn't really start watching WCW till, to be honest, the Monday Night Wars.
Which was a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was just trying to do the whole nerdy thing and fake give you shit, but like it backfired. It's okay. Moving on.
Moving on. So Jey Uso comes on the show, opens up about.
Do we talk about the leak or do we not talk about the leak?
We're gonna talk about the leak here, but first we're gonna talk about Raw and how this happened here. So comes up on Raw, starts talking about how he lost and how he got revenge. And he's somebody else to talk to, and then his brother comes out, Jimmy. And they talk, and he says, you have to go see somebody, you have to go see the OTC. He'll be there he'll be there on Friday.
Yep.
Which eventually proceeded to bring out the Bloodline, who attacked them. Eventually they got the upper hand. Bloodline gets sent away. Now, all the leaks have been coming out over the past couple of days about what's going on SmackDown. You seriously see.
Before you get there,
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Sami Zayn part first?
Yeah, because I was working my way towards that, actually.
I know you were. I knew you were going to cover the leak first.
Yep.
But the way they're introducing Sami to the story is something I didn't consider. So go ahead.
The way they brought Sami Zayn, right? So now on SmackDown the leaks, you're gonna have obviously Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, the ones.
Yeah, they're reuniting on Friday.
Yeah. So that being said, on Raw tonight, as Jimmy and Jay were leaving, in a sense, Sami Zayn came up to him and said,
Back up first.
You go back it up.
Yeah. So right after the first match, which we'll talk about later, Jimmy and Jay are in the back and they run into Sami.
Yeah.
And Sami is not too thrilled with what Jay's doing.
No. I mean, rightfully so, let's be honest.
Right. He was totally justified in his position.
Yep.
Because that's kind of what they fought about all of 2023.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, Jay basically tells him that, you don't understand because you're not family. And that seemed to visibly hurt Sami. Fast forward to a bit later on.
Yep.
And Jay finds Jimmy in the locker room.
Yep.
Who looks like Jimmy's ready to leave.
Yeah.
And Jimmy asks how the talk with Sami went. Yep. And Jay says he told him that he wasn't family. And Jimmy kind of very nonchalantly, but realized he kind of fucked up.
Yep.
Was like, oh, you're right. You're not family. Yeah. But then Jay put him in his place. Was like, look, when you stabbed me in the back, Sami was there.
Yep.
Maybe you don't understand this either. And Jimmy's like, I got this. Let me go talk to Sami. And Jay protests for a minute, but Jimmy's like, I promise, I'm just going to talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk to him.
Yeah.
Then, go ahead.
You go ahead. You're doing really well there.
Oh, okay. So we fast forward to after Damian Priest makes his entrance. By the way, we come back from commercial.
Yeah.
And the last thing you see regarding this story is Jimmy's about to leave. And Jay comes up and says, hey, did you find Sami? But Jimmy kind of quiets him down. And at the top of your screen, you can see Sami talking to Solo.
Oh, lovely.
And so there's a seed of doubt here.
Yeah.
So, yes, I actually saw a whole promo that Jey cuts on Roman.
Yep.
Sorry, I was thinking shitty 2000s quarterbacks. Um, anyways, Jey cuts this promo on Roman on Friday night that's coming up. For those that may be under a rock, they taped last week's SmackDown.
Yeah.
Or they taped this week's SmackDown last week because they're in Saudi Arabia on Saturday.
I was surprised they're doing a Saudi Arabia
SmackDown like they did before King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
I think it's just because scheduling or something.
Could be whatever.
Probably scheduling or something. But anyways, even though we know what happens, I recommend people watch this segment coming up on Friday because this is the best promo Jey Uso's ever cut in his entire career.
Great.
Now, this leak that we're talking about, video surfaced right after SmackDown last week.
Yeah, literally within like seconds.
I wouldn't say within seconds, but I would
minutes.
say within an hour.
Minutes.
Yeah, within an hour of SmackDown going off the air Friday night.
Yeah.
We start seeing some video. And it's a picture of all three of them doing the ones. But then I saw a video of someone recorded Sammy's promo. Or not Sammy, Jay's promo that he's about to cut. So please, even though it's taped, you already know what's going to happen. Please go watch this promo.
We'll be watching with the eyes there. And please, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below there, folks. If you like the content, somewhere subscribe should be on maybe this side. Or that side. Somewhere there, make sure you like, share, subscribe. A nice small click for you, big click for us. We appreciate everything you always do here. Make sure you follow on Podbean, Spotify, and all those other places there. We thank you. But it's going to be exciting this Friday.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like I took up a lot there, but I mean, I've been off a bit lately, so
fair enough.
I've been off a bit lately. I feel like I have some making up to do here.
Hey, no worries.
I've seen a theory thrown around that the fourth could be The Rock on Team Roman.
If that's going to be the case, that's where the seed's going to be planted for Rock versus Roman.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to be planted. 100%.
Actually, Triple H, okay, there's a reason why they used to call him a student of the game.
Yeah.
Welcome to a brief fantasy booking.
Oh, okay.
But it makes sense. Back when Dusty Rhodes booked WCW.
Yep.
And with Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah. The late Kevin Sullivan, by the way.
Yes, the late Kevin Sullivan. He passed a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. But they loved this idea of people turning in war games.
It happened a few times, I'm correct.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The most famous one I remember is Mr. Perfect turning on the Four Horsemen in '97.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun, especially if you like watching Chris Benoit get the shit kicked out of him. Also features NFL Hall of Famer Steve Mongo McMichael.
Mondo.
And then Mr. Perfect slamming a cage door on Ric Flair's head. But anyways, here's where I think this is going. If it's The Rock turns on Roman mid-match and solo pins Roman.
Yeah.
Because this is the match where Roman can afford to lose.
Yeah, for sure.
He wasn't losing his first match back.
No, this is the match that if Roman's going to get pinned or lose here, this is where it's going to happen here.
Absolutely.
But that being said, we're going to see where that goes there. Moving on. Last week, we found that Wyatts are attacking The Miz for the things that he's done and kind of getting involved with Karrion Kross and the Final Testament.
I heard that might have been Paul Ellering's write-off, by the way.
Yes, because Paul Ellering ended up getting taken out by Uncle Howdy, with Karrion Kross last week saying, "Look, one of my people took a bullet for you. You're gonna do what
So
you
now
got
they're
to
going to
do.
work together. Yeah.
We're gonna work together." So today we got a little more comeback on that. The Miz is trying to get recruited by gotta get the R-Truth back on his side. R-Truth wasn't having it.
No
Karrion
deck
Kross,
for it.
Karrion Kross comes up to him later on and he says, "So we got a plan. You know what? I got a plan. So you're gonna do. You're gonna go find Uncle Howdy, and you're going to ask Uncle Howdy why is he getting into my business, Final Testament business." And Miz just did like, "I don't want to do that." I go, "Hey, you're gonna go do this, or I'm gonna break your legs." Okay, plan, awesome, break.
So Karrion Kross did like another interview with Chris Van Vliet. Like this might have been like the third one this year.
Yeah.
Except this time he put 3 baseball bats in a heel hook position.
Yeah.
Because for those that don't know, Karrion Kross is actually quite a highly skilled jiu-jitsu artist.
Yeah, he is. He's quite he's up there.
Yeah, I don't know if he's quite black belt, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
Anyways, he snapped 3 baseball bats with the heel hook.
Nice.
Don't think for a second he can't snap Mrs. Leg in half.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So
Like, yeah, I really like where Karrion Kross is going with this character too. It's actually quite comical.
he's like the villain like that doesn't understand why the cops keep getting in his business,
Yeah.
even though he's causing all this fucking
He's like
mayhem.
he's like an old Disney villain.
He's causing all this mayhem, not breaking any laws, but
Yeah.
he's causing all this mayhem.
He
And
can't
the
figure out
cops
what to
are
do with
like,
it. Yeah.
why is this guy causing all this shit?
Yeah. He's hilarious at it. He's really good at it too. He's quite comical.
Yeah, he's he's showing quite the personality lately.
I've always I always like Karrion Kross as a character as
He
WD.
comes across as such a genuinely kind individual though.
He's such a nice guy.
I can't look at Cross the same on TV after watching some of these interviews.
Yeah, he's just a really down to earth dude. He's just like really. I mean, the same thing as Samoa Joe too. You have interviews with Samoa Joe. He's like one of the nicest guys out there, but like he can totally kill you. Seth Rollins. Let's talk Seth. So Seth comes out tonight, and he's really like talking about how Bronson Reed has opened up something in Seth that he hasn't had feeling in a while. He thought it was gone. And how crazy and monstrous he can be. But then Bronson Reed came on the Tron and promised Pierce he wouldn't do anything on the inside and goaded Seth to come out to the outside. And Seth was more than happy to oblige. And then a fight occurred. And somebody got placed onto a car like an ornament.
Yeah, Joe Tessitore with the line of the night.
Yeah.
He went hood ornament on Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
That might be the line of the year, and I'm sorry, Michael Cole.
Yeah.
But
that ain't not Bronson Reed though. He got
I am struggling. Hold on. This is where I'm gonna give Joe Tessitore his flowers.
Sure.
He's like 6-8 weeks in at this point.
Yeah.
And this dude has blended in so well. And this line was the tip of this was the cherry on top.
Yeah.
This dude gets it.
He's having fun with it.
Seth Rollins hits a stomp on the hood of a car.
Yeah. Acting like it's over too.
Yeah.
It's done. We're done.
Oh yeah.
Well, Bronson Reed got up.
Yeah. And then he went back at Seth. Then he threw Seth into a back of a production truck.
Yep. Beat us, and then Death Valley Driver him through some stuff.
Death Valley Driver threw like a bunch of setup tables with cloths.
And he got up and walked away.
Yeah, got up and walked away.
This leads
And
me to believe that Seth is going to win this match at Crown Jewel.
Seth is going to win this match at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
For one reason only. For one reason only. Bronson Reed's going to get overconfident.
Yeah.
And Seth is going to use that veteran savviness to squeak out a win. It's going to be like a small package or some shit, dude.
Yeah. And I think they're going to have a second match. I think this could probably be a three-match series.
It's gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be a trilogy that's gonna lead up. It's gonna lead us through the rest of this year, most likely.
Which will probably eventually lead Seth to
Saturday night's main event. Probably is where this ends.
And probably at least Seth it'll give Seth something to do up until the
Rumble season.
Rumble season, and probably the title. I'm assuming against Gunther, because if the plan is still for Seth versus Punk, then that would give Seth time stuff to do and to build up. Because I don't think we see Punk again until what? Rumble, you think? We talked about this already a few weeks ago.
We talked about this when the night after Bad Blood.
Yeah.
We'll see Punk in the Rumble.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like number 30.
Yeah, probably. Although I have heard the Reigns will be in the Rumble too, so that's gonna be kind of almost hard. If Reigns is in that Rumble, it'll be hard to figure out if who's gonna win that. That if the Reigns is in it.
If Reigns is in it, then Punk will be like 29.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Good news though. War Raiders get a title shot against Judgment Day. They won the triple threat tag team match.
The War Raiders are going to win this match.
Yeah, I'm really glad the War Raiders won this. It makes like I still haven't seen now. I did make mention too that the anniversary of the New Day is coming up. So we know we've been holding off on this. We've talked about it several times.
But you missed this week's antic.
Well, this week's antic too, where the New Day was set to win, and then Xavier Woods sees Rey Mysterio coming in and just runs after Rey Mysterio and gets balls flat on his back on the outside.
All he had to do was hit up, up, down, down.
Yep.
And this was pretty much over, but Woods tried to think ahead and charged at Ray to take him out before
he's the quarterback right now. He's like Dak Prescott, not thinking.
Wow, two Cowboy quarterback references in this show.
Yeah, well, you know what? Makes you know how I feel about my Cowboys right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Notice I'm not putting on the very high intelligence scale.
It's funny. Yeah, so I mean, War Raiders, they need the titles more than Judgment Day. We gotta find a way to end this at some point.
Judgment Day is not doing anything with those tag team titles. Like Finn Balor.
The titles do nothing for Judgment Day.
Finn Balor has been a tag team champion basically majority of the year. It's time for Finn Balor. If you want to take Finn Balor and Judgment Day more seriously, start putting Finn into that world title picture.
I would say just give him the Intercontinental title again.
If you want to do that, cool. Either way, he needs a singles title zone to establish himself better as the leader of that team. Because if that's how they're going to go as leader of that Judgment Day, if they say there is no leaders, kind of want to have a title.
Fair enough.
I think you should.
Go ahead.
So, we had Selena Vega versus Ivy Nile in match night 2.
Ivy debuted a new finisher. She beat Zelina after there was a big brawl outside where the Creed brothers just threw DJZ and whatever his fucking name is around.
You know, I'm going to say this. You know what? When those two guys were in Lungardo El Fantasma.
Right.
They were way better.
Oh, no.
This LWO for them doesn't work for me.
The LWO was a dead on arrival thing.
Yeah.
Because no one's ever thinking of Ray in the LWO.
No, when the LWO was popular for what it was Eddie.
It was Eddie.
It was Eddie. It was Psychosis. It was Rey Mysterio. Well, no, that was more like the
Rey Mysterio. Okay, this is WWE's revisionist history.
Yeah.
Here's the way I remember it.
I remember Rey was
Rey was like a reluctant member. He was the last one to join the LWO.
Yeah, and he was maskless too, if I'm correct.
No, not yet. He would lose his mask like later that summer.
Okay.
I
remember he went maskless in WCW for quite a while, actually.
Well, for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, of his existence.
Because I don't know, they were just doing a thing where like all the luchadors were losing their masks. Like,
yeah, I remember that. But yeah, he was better. They were better in Legado, and to be honest, it should be reversed. Put the Garzas with the LWO and the other two guys back with Legado. They're fine. But hey, that's me. Maybe I'm just a little special up here.
That's okay.
We'll see.
WWE's hiring a writer if you're interested.
What was that?
I said WWE is hiring a writer if you're interested.
They would never hire me. Although, you never know. Stranger things have happened. Kaiser versus Sheamus in just a match. Again, fine.
Here's what I don't understand. A, why does Sheamus keep winning? Unless he's on a collision course for Gunther again.
It's a good possibility.
They already feuded over the Intercontinental title.
Well, you could have something good.
I think, okay, this could be Gunther's Survivor Series program.
It's a good possibility.
Or it's going to be his Saturday night's main event or Royal Rumble opponent. It's going to be Sheamus.
Well, where does that put Seth then? Because we talked about Seth earlier.
I know. Seth will fall in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if Seth wins at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Because
this is where now we're getting all over the place here, because now you're saying Seth might win the Elimination Chamber. And we talked about the two. If Roman's in the Rumble and Punk's in the Rumble, well, who wins the Rumble? Is it Roman or
Punk?
Is it Punk?
It's
or is
Punk.
Punk going to be the one that wins to go to the Elimination Chamber?
No, because listen, Roman will only enter the Rumble to take out Solo Sikoa.
Possibly. We'll see what happens.
I promise you that's how it's going to go down.
Or somebody's going to cost him.
That too. And it's probably going to be The Rock.
Yeah. So we'll see what goes on there. Who knows?
Then a bunch of nothing promos. This is WWE's side quest week.
Yeah, it's more or less they're just gearing up for Crown Jewel now. They're going to get through Crown Jewel, and then we're going to go full head on into Survivor Series War Games. And that's when it's really going to pick up a lot of steam, because they're going to start getting matches pulled for that.
And until then, Andrew, tell them where to find us.
By the way, though, did you happen to watch any of Halloween Havoc?
I saw that Bubba Ray Dudley made a save for Trick at the end.
Yeah, that was weird. Saw some of it.
I saw that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to NXT this week.
Zaraya, is that her name?
Right. Yeah. Formerly Zaraya. Zaraya. Yeah. Formerly Delta in an Australian wrestling promotion. Like a beast of a woman.
All right. So I saw her take up Fatal Influence.
In fact, they literally used the reference they used with Michael Cole about when Lesnar returned those years ago against Cena.
What reference was that?
What's it called? The shift. There's been a shift in the anomaly. Nothing like the anomaly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like whole thing's changed.
NXT may have the best women's division in all of wrestling.
I think they probably do. I do I love Stephanie Vakir and Julia in NXT right now. They're really good. I'm looking forward to that.
That's a three-headed dragon you just signed. You signed the best women's wrestler in Japan, the best women's wrestler in Mexico, and the best women's wrestler in Australia.
Yeah.
That's a three-headed dragon you just brought in.
That's going to be
plus you still have the likes of Roxanne Perez, Corey Jade,
who just came back last month.
Kalani Jordan. Soruka,
Fallon Henley, who just won
Lola,
the Women's North American
Lola
title.
Vice, Thea Hale, Fallon Henley.
Well, Fallon Henley, like I said, just won the women's North American Championship.
Oh, there you go.
So like
it is such a deep division.
it is. Like it's definitely better than the women's division on Raw right now for sure. It is. Because literally think about it, the women's division on Raw right now is literally a bunch of people playing around here, but it's mostly all folks between Rhea and Liv.
So, switching gears, last question.
Shoot.
Instead of predictions, I just want you to tell the people one match that you're looking forward to this Saturday.
This Saturday?
At Crown Jewel.
I'm honestly, man, I'm looking forward to the Cody and Gunther match. I'm wondering if it's hard for me. For me, I'm gonna say it's hard to see who's gonna win that match because both men have a good claim as to who can win that belt. Sure, it's just gonna be a belt that's gonna be defended in Saudi Arabia, and that's fine. But like both, I'd say a win here values more for Gunther than it does Cody.
Well, that's it, right?
That's in my opinion. I think Gunther would probably win that match.
This match is going to show you who they value more. But anyways, my pick for the match to watch this weekend is, of course, the Kevin Owens Randy Orton match.
That match I'm also looking forward to.
Yeah. I think these two are going to put on a clinic. I really enjoyed the promo from Randy Orton and Triple H on Friday.
Good. I just wanted an extensive review on that one too. Check out Smackdown review that we posted here on YouTube and on Podbean and Spotify from last week.
Yeah, full disclosure, I was dealing with like a migraine from hell. That's why I wasn't on the show last Friday. Anyways.
Andrew has fun sometimes doing it on his own.
I mean, I'm still kind of dealing with
I just say weird crap.
I'm still dealing with that migraine even now.
Fair enough.
But, I was able to, it was okay enough for me to do this. Yeah, so I think that Kevin Owens and Randy Orton is probably going to be match of the night.
It's going to be a toss between that one and probably Gunther and Cody.
But there's like 6 or 7 matches on this card, dude.
Well,
this is like the most matches on a card. And
we may see also like the Bronson Reset Rollins match will probably be very good. We may see a cash-in. It's a good possibility that cash-in may happen this weekend. Of live more of not
so just be straight with the people. Do you think a cash-in's happening this weekend?
I sure hope so. I've been waiting for it for like a month now, so I think the cash-in might happen.
I've only been waiting 3 whole months since I saw her win it.
Yeah, but it's been really teasing it more and more so over the past like couple weeks. So I think it's a good possibility that cash-in does happen this weekend.
I think they're going to I think they're going to do it at Survivor Series because remember, Crown Jewel is just a side quest.
It is, but
Crown Jewel isn't canon.
No, but they have had titles change hands there before.
I know. I understand that Crown Jewel absolutely is canon.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I feel like it's not.
You know what? It's like you.
There you go.
It's like it's like the multiverse. The you got the first one here, and all of a sudden the spears off, and all of a sudden a ring comes out, and boom, up, a snap of snow, and back to them.
On that great analogy.
Not really.
That'll do it for tonight. Thank you for listening. You know what? I haven't done the close in a while. I'll do a close.
Sure.
If you're listening to this, go find us on YouTube at DA Wrestling. Find us on Podbean, Spotify. Go find the show at DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X. That beautiful bald man over there is April 1982 on Instagram, Andrew DA Sports on TikTok. I'm DLions1991 on Twitter. We'll catch you later.
Peace be the journey.